That's right. Welcome to episode 617, sponsored by Gemini. And here you have a Gemini commercial with me doing the voiceover. That's right. The Gemini Bitcoin credit card, as you see on your screen, one of the most popular credit cards out there, issued by WebBank. Get 4% back in Bitcoin and not in points. You heard that right. In Bitcoin, not points. Check out the XRP credit card along with the Solana credit card and the entire lineup at Gemini.com/David J. That's right. Gemini got that XRP credit card and the Solana credit card, which gives you 4% back on your purchases in XRP or Solana. And again, with Bitcoin, you can earn Bitcoin and not points. Get started today. Again, Gemini.com/David G. There we go. There we go. Let me just, because I couldn't update it quickly. Yesterday we did have Hotep Jesus on. Oh, damn, I love the way I look. Thank you so much. Thank you, God. Thank you. Welcome to the program. Welcome to the program. Give me 1 second here. Give me just 1 second here, because I got to do this real quick. You guys are staring at me like, what is he doing? We have a great show today. We have Charlie Shrem coming on. That's right, boys and girls. That is right. We got a legend in the Bitcoin movement coming on today. Go ahead and chop it up. Where the hell is this thing? Why don't I have this thing here? Hold on 1 second. What do I need to do here? It's an image. Sure. Love starting the show like this. I. Wait with me 1 second. I really am sorry for the delay. 1 second. I'm trying to find this. There we go. This go look proper right now. You know, Mountain Valley Water should really be sponsoring this show. I drink it live on air, and there we go. Episode 17 live with Charlie Shrem, Markets, Finance. We're gonna get into that talk about the emails that came out today from the Democrats. You know, it's funny with the Democratic Party. So Biden, we can even throw it back to when, I don't know, Hillary was running against Trump. If they had all these emails, they could have came out with them a long time ago, right? They could have stopped Trump from ever touching the Oval Office. Biden was in office 4 years. Nobody even mentioned the word Epstein. Like, think about, I want you guys to sit back for a second, whether you're a Democrat or a Republican, independent, libertarian, purple party, green party, it doesn't really matter. I want you to sit back for a second and think, hold on. They had all this time to come out with all this stuff on Epstein. And only now, when Trump's in office and everything's going well, they start shutting down the government and all this crazy shit. And now here they go. They put out these emails, which again, I got to find out if these emails are legit. But let's say even if they are, number one, I don't, from the emails that I've seen, I haven't seen anything crazy. And so if there's been anything crazy, I haven't seen them. Why wait this long? I want everybody to sit back and think about this. Kamala was running out there to be the president of the United States of America. Why wouldn't they have put this out there to eliminate Trump's chances from ever reaching the Oval Office? Why only now? You know what? I want to bring on, let me see. I'll bring on somebody. I want to see if that person is available to speak on this subject. But I really want to go ahead and chop it up with somebody political on this topic. Because it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make any sense at all. You wait until he gets into office to do it when you had the files. And are we going to talk about the files that were torn up, ripped apart in New York City? We're going to talk about that. We'll talk about the documents that went missing or weren't given to Pam Bondi or Cash Patel. We're going to get into these conversations. Are we? Just asking. By the way, we will talk crypto. We're going to talk Bitcoin. We're going to talk about crypto. I'm going to tell you how I'm feeling about crypto. Okay. All right. Well, I really want to go ahead and see if this person's available. Okay. There you go. Now that caught me, it has me thinking, it's not like if Trump really did anything, right? If Trump really did anything, I'd be the first on a microphone appearing on your TV set to say, like, that's a bad man. That right there is a bad man. I miscalculated on that one. Okay. But if they had anything on Trump, they really would have came out a long time ago to nail his ass to a cross. But they don't have anything on him. They have absolutely nothing on him. And I don't really I believe Trump's story. I believe that Trump kicked out Epstein as soon as he figured out that this guy smelled wrong. That's it. I really do believe that. I wholeheartedly believe that. Look what happened to Trump in New York with these 34 counts of whatever bullshit they came up with. All the banks came out and said, like, they love doing business with Donald Trump. This has been a goddamn witch hunt. This has been a goddamn witch hunt against Trump because these people can't stand the fact that he won, that he's in office, that he's the president for a second time, 45th, 47th. These people can't stand. Look, have you guys asked yourselves, even Democrats, have you asked yourselves, what do the Democrats actually run on? What do they run on? Like what are the issues they are trying to solve? Like all I ever hear are issues like we are trying to make sure that biological men can enter into women's bathrooms. Now, women out there, are you comfortable with men and biological men entering into your bathrooms? I'd love to get a poll on this. Do you want biological men, okay? Anybody who identifies as a woman that might be a biological man at birth, would you want them coming into your bathroom? I don't think you would. Their focus is on making sure that the boys' bathrooms have tampons in them. Think about these issues. These are the issues that the Democrats run on. And you know what the Democrats really do well? What the Democrats really do well is they make you rely on the government. That's right. The Republican Party wants you to take these wonderful opportunities you have in the United States of America, and they want you to be successful. That's my point of view. From my point of view, the Republican Party consistently offers a way for you to take advantage of the opportunities in the United States of America. The Democrats want you to rely on them. Here, I'm going to give you a point here for the crypto community that's here. In crypto, for 4 years under Biden, Crypto was literally, literally terrorized. Terrorized. Every single day, the crypto ecosystem was terrorized. Okay. They didn't want to see you take the opportunity that you had in crypto and succeed here, okay, and change your life. No, they wanted to take it away from you and give it back, give this entire ecosystem back to Wall Street. That was the goal. That was the game plan. It wasn't to kill crypto. It was to make sure that retail doesn't win. Remember AMC and GMC? You remember Wall Street bets? What did they do every time retail started to win? They halted trading. They halted trading every single time. They don't want you to win. The whole premise for them is for retail never to win. It's for Wall Streets and the good old boys, you know, that bloodline of generational wealth for them to go ahead and win and not you. And you know it's crazy, like a lot of you guys don't see it. You guys don't see it, you're blind to it. And it's crazy that you are here in the crypto markets participating here and seeing your assets get destroyed because of them. Because of them. Because of the regulations, not even regulations, but because of the enforcement they put in. Think about that. You can say whatever you want. Listen, I don't like everything. I don't like everything that the Republican Party does. I'm not like, oh my god, like everything is 100% great. Like there are some things that a lot of things can be fixed here. Okay, a lot of things can be fixed, but it's better than the Democrats. Like, look at them, that shutting down the government. The Democrats, here's the craziest thing. The Democrats shut down the government. The Republicans try to reopen the government multiple times. Couldn't get it done because you had Democrats that said it is worth, and go look at the quotes, go look at the videos. It's okay. It is worth, because they kept on getting asked, like, there are people starving, 42 million people, which is absolutely crazy, which leads me to my point. The government wants you to depend on them. The Democrats particularly want you to depend on them. That's why you have 42 million people on the SNAP program, because they depend on the government. And what happens when you depend on the government? When you get that money in, well, who are you going to likely vote for? Democrats. They want you to depend on Democrats do enough, right? So like you are drowning and they will just lift you out of the water so you can catch your breath. That's their game plan. That is literally their game plan. Shut down the government, knowing that people for now 5 to 6 weeks are starving, and pointing the finger at the Republicans, knowing that most people in the United States of America have absolutely no idea how government works. No clue how government works. Okay? Not knowing that you need 60 votes in order to reopen the government. They point to the Republican Party. That's the problem that we have here. But they want that. Like I've said this on multiple podcasts, even from the ones in the very beginning when I talk politics. They want you to know just enough, okay? Just enough. Not everything, but just enough to comprehend. Just a little bit. Think about it. Again, like I said, if I thought Trump was a bad man, I wouldn't have voted for him. Okay? I wouldn't. Here's a guy. I just want you to sit back on this also and chew it up. Here's a guy who is a billionaire. Okay? Real estate mogul. He doesn't need any of this. Like, he doesn't need it. 30, 40 years ago, Trump appeared with Oprah. He sat down with Oprah and he literally said, I feel bad for the United States of America. We consistently get taken advantage of by other countries. He talked about his trip to Japan, seeing how Japan only had their vehicles out there in their country, didn't have a single American car. He pointed out a lot of things 40 years ago that he still ran on today. He really loves this country and he just wants to make it better. And there are Of course, like there's evil everywhere. There is literally evil everywhere trying to stop this man from doing great things. Think though, in less than a year, Trump has been able to do so much more than Biden or any Democrat has been able to do in their what, 12 years of controlling the government? Where have we gone? What has America really achieved? Pronouns? I want you to think about this. Everything that I'm saying here right now, I want you to really give it some thought, Democrat or Republican. During the time that Obama and Biden ran this country, we really came into an age of realizing pronouns, allowing men, biological men, to play in women's sports, biological men going into women's bathrooms. What was the biggest Obama phones? Free phones? Free phones? We went from having like what, 12 million people on welfare to 42 million people on welfare. What are we doing? What did we accomplish? World leaders didn't respect us? I'll give one thing to Obama, he's well spoken. He can walk into any room and really dominate because he has the gift of gab. That I'll give to him. But like what did Biden and what did Obama really do? What did they do? Marinate that. What did they do for Americans? They basically sent the message to people that lived in the United States of America that if you take advantage of the opportunity that you have here in the good old USA and you are successful, we are going to tax you. And we're going to go ahead and tax you at obnoxious rates. That's what they did. That's exactly what they did. They literally killed middle class. The middle class doesn't exist anymore. It's over with. Anyway, we'll be right back after these commercials. That's funny. I'm watching you guys talk about the video. Now, I am not doing the voiceovers. Okay, I refuse to do the voiceovers. Okay, no, I'm checking in again. Technical difficulties on bringing somebody on here, so we will waiting for Charlie Shrem to come on. It was supposed to be at 1:15 p.m. It is now 1:26 p.m. And I was just talking about everything that's happened with the release of the Epstein emails, which the Democrats are running with, trying to imply that Trump knew everything that was going on, and was participating in or participated with a underage, um, an underage female. So that is the big story today, and I was really wondering why the Democrats, especially that they were in power for so long, why did they wait to go ahead and release something today? Uh, this program is sponsored by Gemini. This is episode 617, the breakdown. Um, like I said, and I firmly believe the Democrats' one goal, the new Democratic Party, because it's not the Democratic Party of old. This is a new Democratic Party, a far left Democratic Party that loves socialism. Just look at New York City and who look at what New York City elected. Okay. And please also remember that Cuomo lost by what? I think it was at like 100 or 200,000 votes. He was short of that. But half the city pretty much was divided on that. I don't believe anybody who who understands common sense wanted Mandani in goddamn office. Like I don't believe that to be the case. Anyway, let's touch on crypto. Why is everybody worried about crypto? Is my question. I would love to bring on somebody later this week if we have time because we have other guests who are scheduled in to come on here. Why is everybody panicking about crypto? Like if you are, and I say this a lot, but if you are in really good positions, why would you ever be worried? Like if you're in Bitcoin, if you're holding Ethereum, if you're in Solana, if you're in BNB, if you got some Litecoin, like I could keep going. Monero, Zcash, I'll throw Zcash in here now since it's the talk of the town. If you're in Chainlink, if you have some Cardano to you, like why are you worried? You're good. If you're holding Pepe, if you have holding Dogecoin, Shiba Inu, why are you worried? You're only worried because you've been buying things that have been flying off of launch pads and you've been getting yourself into absolutely utter grade A dog shit. That's why you'd be worried. That's why you're worried. There's no other reason for you to go ahead and care about what is happening within the markets. If anything, you see this as an opportunity. You would view all of this as an opportunity. Holy shit, I got money on the sidelines. Let me go buy things up right now because there's another leg coming. Regardless of what anybody says, I refuse to believe. And this goes like I have plenty of friends that I'm friends with who come onto this program. I refuse to believe that we will not have one of the greatest altcoin run-ups of all time. I don't believe that it's only Bitcoin. No, 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 no. What you've witnessed for the last few months, or maybe for the last year and a half and change, is an institutional run. You've had institutions which you guys have fallen in love with. You've fallen in love with them. You've rooted for them to come here. You're hugging on them. Disgusting. But it's been them. By the way, also there have been long-term Bitcoin holders selling off. Guess what happens when these Bitcoin holders are now selling off into liquid into I should say into liquidity, knowing that it won't hurt Bitcoin as much. Institutions are picking it up. It's fine. You sell your Bitcoin, institutions grab them up. The big boys are grabbing them up. By the way, they're not buying They're not buying on the charts. They're buying OTC. Okay. So you might be saying, well, the institutions aren't buying. Yeah, they are. You think Michael Saylor is going on to like Binance and buying his Bitcoin? Like on the chart spot? Like you think that's how you think they operate? That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of dumb shit that I read on the timeline. Like James Wynn took another shot at me yesterday. Okay. James Wynn took another shot at me yesterday. Let me go ahead and read it for you guys. Let me read this shit for you. Where's this shit that he went ahead and he took a shot at me, so I had to take a shot right back. Finally, like I wanted to hold off, but I had to take the shot back. Where is it? Where is it? I'm trying to look through my timeline. Where is this shit? Let's see. Where is where is it? Where is the shot? Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. Damn, where the fuck is it? Where the fuck is this shit? Yeah, that's what I need to do. I need to save these things more often in bookmarks. Where is it? Somebody says that the algorithm has been upgraded. Listen, I still think that the algorithm still needs work. Hold on one second. There you go, Milo. You know what time it is. They are not buying. They're not buying on Binance or Gemini and Coinbase. No, 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 no. They're buying OTC. A lot of people don't understand this. That's the problem that you have in this crypto space. You have so many uneducated people here that they think, "Oh man, it's not really happening." It's not really happening. You don't know what you're talking about, David. I don't know what I'm talking about. You just came here and I don't know what I'm talking about. That's why a lot of you guys are completely and utterly broke. Like, how are you broke when you were here during the bear market? You could have bought things for 3 cents and easily been sitting back and relaxing on whatever island of your choosing. No, no, you chose not. You chose not to do that. You chose to get into fuckery plays. Telling me. I love when people tell me that. Hold on. Where the fuck is this shit, man? Where is this? Where the fuck is this? This guy okay. I gotta attack some comments here. Hold on. Once I find this is crazy. I can't find this. Anyway, James Wynn, who's scared to come onto the show, who begged me, this motherfucker begged me to subscribe to him in order for him to come onto this show to go ahead and debate me on how Bitcoin is going to zero. This dude wanted to take a shot at me, so I came right after his neck and I told him that my Jewish accountant would send him money to go ahead and pay his rent because there is no way this man has any money left. You've been liquidated for what? 22 like you're minus $22 million right now. That is wild. That's not a cool thing. That's nothing to go ahead and gloat about. You absolutely suck at dominating. Like that's what you are the greatest. You are the greatest loser of all time. That is you have achieved greatness at losing. There is nothing to go ahead and celebrate. And people following him is wild. You don't have to follow me or listen to me, but it's wild. Wild. We warned you when Grant was on your show live that the markets were going to crash. What crash are you talking about? Do you guys understand what a crash is? Like, did we crash to zero? Like, did it crash to zero? Are we talking about like a real crash where everything's sitting at zero? Or are we talking about a pullback correction? Like, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? Bitcoin 1010 still held its own. Still held its own. What are you saying? Are you not looking at the data? I am fine with Bitcoiners who have held for 9, 10 years selling. It's a good thing. It's a very good thing. What are we talking about? This is the nonsense. This is why people get scared away and get out of their positions because they believe in this shit that's being spewed out here where people are hiding behind PFPs of fucking alligators and gorillas. And they're out here saying that we have crashed and not understanding the terminology that they are using. Do you understand? Like, first of all, the stock market hasn't lost a step. We are so up in TriFi. We are so up in TriFi. Trust me, I know we are so up in TriFi. You think crypto's not next? And we are pretty much up while the government is shut down. What crash are you speaking of? Do you think that they are not going to drop rates? Do you think they're not going to start printing again? Trump has literally told you he's going to send out $2,000 checks to every American out here. Not every American, but Americans making $75,000 or less. And you're talking about crash? A crash? What crash? Show me a crash. What I see, here's the problem that we have here. And I cannot understand this for the life of me. I thought about this today. And yesterday also. How can you be bearish? In general, generally speaking, how can you come on to the timeline wanting crypto to go down? Like, I love pullbacks because there are opportunities to obviously DCA and acquire more. But how can you come on every single day onto X or YouTube or LinkedIn, Rumble, TikTok, whatever it is? And I'm shouting out to everybody who's tuned in right now. How can you come on with a miserable attitude like that every single day? Like, yo, I'm going to short the market, being that you don't make as much money shorting as you do long. You make more money being a bull than a bear. I don't understand. You can come on here every single day and just bitch and moan and pray that we go down. Why would you want that? And how miserable are you? And do you know the definitions? Do you know the lingo and the language when using it in a financial space? Crash. Crash means that we're at zero. Crash means like that's it. It's done. It's over. We'll have to wait years for these things to come back. I can sit here all day. I can go, you know what? Maybe that's it. That is, you know what I gotta say? You know what I gotta say? Maybe I should start being negative. From now on, moving forward, maybe the breakdown should be the most negative show in the world. Maybe I should just do what Peter Schiff does. Because being positive, right? Even though I get really good engagement, and I thank everybody for tuning in, and I appreciate you guys. But maybe if I was negative and I said, you know what, guys? Ethereum is going to flip Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is just dog shit. And I think Zcash is going to flip. And I think even Monero is going to flip Bitcoin. You know what? Matter of fact, I think Pepe is going to flip Bitcoin. Maybe, just maybe, that would drive in more viewers. Maybe I triple my viewership if I went that route. I don't know. Should I start doing that? Maybe I should make tweets like Peter Schiff, who owns Bitcoin, who knows when me and him went one-to-one, he didn't know, he stuttered up so many times against your boy. He's scared to come back onto this program. He knows every single day. Peter Schiff knows one thing. He knows he's very smart at this. He comes on every single day and he says things that irritate the people. Okay? He says things that will irritate you and get you upset and triggered enough to get to his tweet and reply. So maybe I should do that. Maybe that's the new thing. You know what, guys? I think we should short the market. Yo, I don't see Bitcoin doing much. I really don't see Bitcoin doing anything. I think Bitcoin is being propped up by a bunch of whales and it's going straight to zero. Guys, swap for gold. Is that, you know what? Graphics team, do me a favor. I want you to change the captions here, the text. I want you to say that Bitcoin is absolutely going to zero. We're going to change the show around. Okay? We're going to go ahead and change it around here. That's what we're going to do. We'll change it around. We're going to talk about some crazy shit right now. Because I believe it. I think, right? Bitcoin's going to zero. Bitcoin's going to zero. Hey, I told you the market was going to crash. It's going to zero. Time to go ahead and swap to precious metals. Go buy yourself some gold, silver, and copper. That's right. Get yourself some bonds. Somebody absolutely right now is tuning in and saying, what is happening right now? Hey, man, I think it's better to be negative. Yo, listen. You can only learn from the best. Just look at the timeline. If you look at the timeline is full of negative motherfuckers. Okay? That don't know anything about crypto, don't hold crypto, don't have a Bitcoin to their name, have nothing. Zero. They are on the timeline acting like they fucking live in mansions. Their net worth is $35 million and they know what the fuck they're talking about. I look at the timeline every day because I have to. I'm forced to look at my timeline. Elon's algorithm is all up in my face. Relax, no Diddy. Welcome to the breakdown, episode 617, sponsored by Gemini. Click the link, trade $1,000 in crypto, get $100 in Bitcoin. If you are not signed up to a centralized exchange or you're looking for a new one that dominates the game, one that has credit cards, gemini.com/David G, one that has Bitcoin credit cards and XRP credit cards, and Solana is the new edition, and you can get 4% back in Bitcoin, Solana, and XRP, depending on which card you hold. Why points when you can get 4% back in Bitcoin? It just makes sense. If you want a real exchange, go to Gemini. Go to Gemini. Gokhshtein Media, yes, indeed, produces this show. We have, and I'll say it, you know what? We have, in the first time in 3 weeks, we have our first person that after multiple attempts of trying, I guess, to get onto the show, didn't show up. And Charlie is a good friend. Charlie is a good friend of mine. I know him. I've done shows with him. He's done, we've done conferences together. We've done shows, but here we go. This is my first since being back with the DG brand that I feel like that ugly girl that got stood up at the prom. I do. I don't know why I'm clapping. But I now understand what it feels like to be not as good looking as the person sitting in the seat right now. It hurts. I'm hurt. It hurts. It hurts. I feel like playing. I feel like playing that song from Johnny Cash. That it hurts. But I want to bring on, because this person has been terrorizing my DMs. Okay. Yeah, Landy. I wanted to hear from Charlie Shrem as well, but unfortunately, Charlie Shrem is not available today. That's right. Charlie Shrem is not available today. And this is what happens when you're live and you work in media. These things happen. And it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. And I made sure to book out space, particularly to navigate around Charlie's schedule. And I'm not taking shots at Charlie. I like Charlie. Me and him are friends. But it is very important. It is very important, and I want this to be a moment, a lesson. It's very important to have absolute communication with somebody because I am running a big business. Okay? I am running big conversations here every single day. If you guys have been tuning in, you've seen the lineup that has come here, the people from the crypto space and outside of it that haven't that I've had the chance to speak with and shoot the shit with and have some fun with. So please be courteous of my time as I am courteous of yours. We do have a great we got some we definitely have them coming on tomorrow, but we have some really good people coming on tomorrow. By the way, Friday we have Murad coming on. Shout out to Murad. Me and Murad will be getting into a conversation about memes. That's right, the meme economy on Friday, 1:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have that conversation. Tomorrow we have, I'll tell you who we have on tomorrow. I'm telling you, the lineup. The lineup's out here for months, man. I really don't wanted to talk to Charlie, man. I really did. I really wanted to talk to Charlie. Tomorrow we have Charlie Lee from the Litecoin Foundation, or the founder of Litecoin. We'll have Charlie Lee on tomorrow, 1:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There you go. So we have Charlie Lee coming on tomorrow. We have Murad coming on Friday. Monday, we have a really great schedule as well. This entire month of November is really is going to be really cool. As long as people show up. I'm sorry, Charlie. I have to take the shot, man. We had the graphics team go ahead and put you on a graphic. That's a cost. Okay. See, like everything's a cost. I think everybody thinks like running a media company is easy. It's not. It really isn't. Running your own brand of content, being a media personality out here, it costs money. It costs money, and sponsors need to go ahead and pay the right amount of money to be seen, especially when the channel's doing very well and the brand's doing absolutely great numbers, and the numbers are going to be even better. Like I got to tell you, I've not taken on deals because I know what I'm worth. I know these numbers right now are phenomenal, but I want to make them better. Like I am going to what I'm asking for is what I deserve. Shit. You see, like these are this is who I am though. You know, like for such a long time, like I haven't been able to like really open up and speak this way. And now like I enjoy just getting back to what I was in 2016, but better, right? Like when you first start podcasting, you're not really good. I look back at some of my tapes and I'm like, oh man, that's me. I mean, I'm a wild boy. I'm a natural, but damn man, I wish I would have done things differently. But like that's learning on the go kind of thing. If you watch Rogan, if you watch Sean Ryan, you watch a lot of people that podcast or do live streams. It's just like your first one, your first couple of podcasts are like, okay, but it's night and day. Like year one to year five, it's like, man, like, holy shit, holy goddamn shit. Anyway, welcome to the breakdown episode 617, sponsored by Gemini. Shout out to Gemini. Let me bring on this guy anyway. I went into a rant again. Let me bring on this guy. Let me bring him on. Let me bring him on. Now I'm gonna ask him some tough questions. I have to ask him some tough questions. Okay. I'm gonna ask him some tough questions. These are not gonna be easy questions. They're gonna be tough questions. Tough questions. By the way, currently the space is vamping everybody. Everybody. But I don't know if the right word is vamping. I don't know if the right word is vamping. Hold on, what is this guy saying? He means for such a long time hasn't been able to speak his mind. You have to bend the knee in order to get to the top. I would have to disagree with that comment. I've never bent the knee to anybody. I just had the wrong people. So I want you to understand something. When you get into a certain position, and this goes out to all the content creators or media personalities, which I like to call it, you get into, especially like in crypto, I blew up immediately because people knew that I am knowledgeable about the space. And do I know everything? No, but I'm knowledgeable about the space. I understand how it works, and I speak different. Okay, I speak differently. And also, like, let's keep it 100. I am a good-looking individual, and that's not me being conceited, but I'm nice on the eyes, man. Like when you watch me, it's like, man, he's nice on the eyes, man. Like he looks good. Listen, there's no ditty to that. It's just like, man, he comes off well on the screen. That's it. And like he's funny, and I know I am. Like he knows how to hold a conversation with guests. That's why they continue to come back. But sometimes, here's the thing: sometimes you get people who surround you, and they try to change you, and like they might mean well, but they're trying to change you. But yet you got yourself here. And this is what I want to say to every media personality that reaches out to me. You you got yourself here to begin with. People tuned into you because you are genuine, right? Like people fuck with your energy, they fuck with your vibe, they like what you bring to the table. They come here to talk to you and come to see you. So when you change up and you're trying to be someone else, and that's not what I was trying to do at all. But they wanted me to like kind of, I guess, be more professional. But what is that? What does that mean, more professional? That I don't curse as much? I mean, I don't curse on purpose. It's just my personality. I don't purposely try to say fuck you to somebody. No, it just comes off. It's just like in that very line that I'm about to just spit out, the F bomb comes out, and it's fitting. It's just me. It's my personality. It's the way I was born. Okay. My parents didn't teach me to cuss. All right. They didn't teach me. I didn't grow up. My parents hardly cussed in front of me. It's me, though. It's just growing up in New York City. It's the DNA that you get this. If you grow up in New York City, you understand. You're built different. Okay. When you're from the Northeast, you're built different. That is it. And this is who I am. So when you try to rope me in and people, there are three, I'm telling you, three people have tried to like change me and shit. No, like it doesn't benefit me. It doesn't benefit me. It doesn't benefit the crowd. The crowd doesn't get real energy. I don't come off performing at my ultimate top. So be you. When you're out here, media personalities, be you. Get on these microphones, speak your truth, stand on business. Fuck what they say. People want to not tune into you no more, unfollow you because they don't like what you're saying. That's fine. Talk about things that you believe in. Slow it down, slow the conversations down. Anyway, I'm gonna bring on Kat Toshi here from Mooncat. Okay, this guy has been in his whole squad has been in my DMs. I like to, and I'm gonna say this from now on, and I hate doing this, but you have to. I I'm not paid by anybody from this organization called Mooncat. Okay, I'm gonna bring them on, and I will put Katoshi to the fire. Okay, I will put him to the fire. He can plead the fifth. He can do that also. But we'll have a conversation. Yo, Katoshi, what's going on, man?
GM, how are you doing, David?
I'm doing well, and I appreciate you for filling in. Charlie, obviously, and yes, I'm giving him shit right now. Charlie's the first person in years not to show up or not be able to come onto the podcast. I'm trying to think if he got the time wrong because there might be an hour difference. But let's talk about you, Katoshi. What happened with Mooncat recently?
Man, price action wise, is that what we're asking?
Well, that's the go. If I don't ask this question, then I'm not genuine, right? I'm gonna avoid that topic, and people are going to hate me for it. What
Yeah,
there was a big sell, and
yeah.
people got shook. What's your take on it? I mean, obviously, look, you can't. Nobody can, no founder, no creator, no dev, no leader can control when people sell. What's your take on what happened?
Yeah, I think I mean the capitulation event, I think a lot of great memes had the same issues, right? It wasn't just Mooncat. That doesn't give us a a way out. But I think that we have to look at the meme market in general. We have to look at the government shutdown. We have to look at that, combined with a lot of uncertainty. And I think that that's kind of what happened. Like, really, like that. I feel like if there wasn't so much uncertainty in the market, things could have changed. Like, but keeping people bullish for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 months, it's very hard to do in the space, especially whenever people are bragging about trading pairs for holding pairs longer than a day. So I mean this, but straightforward. What event happened here was I took over Mooncat. I wasn't the original dev. The dev at the time, he realized that he was a little over his head, and some of the community members and I got together and decided that it might be in the best interest for me to kind of steer the project moving forward, similar to the way Pudgy and Luca did. And so I don't get me wrong, I'm not comparing or even saying we're similar in any way, shape, or form, but that's just what some people had felt like there were similarities because I understood the IP aspect of crypto and how important IP is. So with that being said, I ended up purchasing Mooncat for $55,000, and I signed over 69% of the creator fees immediately back to the community. And the person that I ended up purchasing Mooncat with, had the vision for the first couple months, and unfortunately, that person ended up, leaving the project.
Who is
Unexpectedly.
that person? Who is that person? If you could plead the fifth, I allow
Yeah.
people to plead the fifth.
Yeah, I'm gonna plead the fifth. I don't want to. I mean, the person's not on CT anymore, anyways. Losses, and maybe that had something to do with it. Maybe losing his account was another reason. He felt like maybe he didn't have the influence. Maybe he just didn't feel involved. Inclusion's a big thing, and whenever people don't feel included or involved in something, maybe. But I think that that wasn't the only factor, but there was a couple other factors, and realistically, this person just wanted, I'm going to be very blunt. I'm not going to say who it was, but what this person wanted was for Moonshot to crime us on their watch, whenever it was
Okay.
convenient for them. And so whenever that wasn't no longer the case, and whenever Moonshot was like, hey, this isn't how we're playing, they decided to capitulate because they weren't on the same time frame as me. I think the biggest thing is people need to expand their time horizon when building projects, and they can't just focus on the launchpad success or how long your whale or whatever it is. Like there's people that are just focused on the wrong things whenever it comes to building, and so you're gonna have tough times, but tough times don't last. Tough people do, and it's about the people that can weather that storm. And so I saw that with Pudgy, especially obviously with Pengu this time around. Whenever people were grave dancing on Luca whenever they're around 400 million. And a lot of those people regretted it later because he wasn't focused on their time frame. He was just focused on building something that he knows whenever he closes his eyes, he can see it. Unfortunately, not everybody is, I can't get everyone to close their eyes and see what I can see. But yeah, man, that's really what it was. I just felt like people, in this specific person, along with a couple other whales, because obviously after someone like that capitulates, that's that high up in the community, there's going to be other people that follow. And so
How much did this person sell?
I think they sold roughly around like 2.5, 3%. And then you've had another couple people sell, I would say like around 8%, of whales have capitulated after like total after that.
Was it at the same? Was it at the same time
Some of
that happened?
The other day there's something at the same time and it went down to like 350. Yeah, I was actually I was watching Predator versus Badlands. I'm up in there watching the movie and I get out and I'm just like, what the heck's going on? I didn't want to be on my phone in the movie. So yeah, it shows you that you really can't, take even 2-hour break, whenever you're building here. But yeah, that's what it was. Next thing you know, I didn't see the price actually drop that low, but I did see the buyback, and we are where we are today. And like I said, I'm trying to focus on what I can control because
here's, and this is what I asked, like when Luca comes on here and a bunch of other builders that participate on my show, I asked them this question, like what are you trying to build out with Mooncat? Like what is, besides, I understand this relationship that you guys have, and I don't know what the relationship is, but with Moonshot, obviously, I don't know if you're the official meme or whatnot, and maybe you can, explain that further here. But what is the ultimate goal for, and I know it might be a funny question because it's just a meme, and you can say, well, it's just a meme,
Yeah.
but like, what is the ultimate goal for like Mooncat? Like, what is it? Like, what separates Mooncat from everything else on this market right now? Like, why if I had, and I mean this, if I have $200,000 right now, why am I going into Mooncat? Like, what's in? And I, by the way, I have a few shekels of Mooncat. I do. That's to be transparent. I do, and it's not because anybody pushed me into it. It's like, okay, I'll get in. Like, all right, I fuck with it. Uh, but like, why would I put, let's say, or why would I try to buy up 1 to 2% of Mooncat? Like, why? Give me that reason. Sell me on it. Like, why?
Yeah. So the reason why, I mean, I'll tell you what separates Mooncat from a lot of other. It's one. It's just we do understand IP, and right now the goal is like, this is the goal, is I believe, and actually no, that Pudgy, whenever Luca really came in, he would always give a comparison to what he was trying to build with Pudgy, and it actually wasn't Disney at first. It was Hello Kitty. He kept mentioning Hello Kitty, and so he outgrew that. And so now, Hello Kitty is $84 billion, and Disney's 20 something, 200 billion, 220 billion. I don't know what TradFi is crazy right now. I haven't even checked the stuff. It might even be higher. And I think that he outgrew that, and he left room for somebody to fill that Hello Kitty spot. And so that's what I'm aiming to do. I want to build the Hello Kitty of crypto. And what Mooncat has that most people don't have is IP. Not to mention, we also have the original artist that created the IP working directly on the project. So, you look at Disney was successful not because they had one IP and then they had to go, and anytime they wanted a new IP, they had to outsource that. They did it because they had iWorks and they had Walt Disney, and they could change Mickey Mouse on literally, like Mickey Mouse has changed a ton over the years. And so that's what we have right now, is we have somebody in-house that's passionate as far as building and wants to build animations and wants to be a cartoonist. And not to mention, this person is also my personal friend for 15 years. And we built projects previous to this, for 3 years out. And we actually took a hike. We pulled back from that. I was building something for 3 years and pulled back from that because I saw how impactful that the Mooncat IP could be whenever this is all said and done. If the last cat popped,
let me stop you there.
Yeah.
So you talk about IP. I think IP is great. Okay. But for me, IP is like, okay, I can use my IP to build out merchandise. I can put merchandise into Walmart, Toys R Us, the few stores that'll be around here now. I can create plushies and put them and have them sold, okay, to generate revenue, right? Because this is a business. Regardless of what anybody says, it's a business of collectibles. Okay. But IP to me inside of this space, I mean, like, what does that really mean inside of crypto, right? Like it doesn't, unless you're going to sell your IP to somebody who's creating a game, like let's say Bored Apes, other side, they want to have Mooncat in it, then the IP is worth something. But otherwise, like it's nice. It's like to me, when people say I own the IP, okay, but now what are you doing? The IP to me is like getting outside of this bubble.
Yes.
Because like if you're not using your IP to get out of here, okay, to have, let's say, a Van Nick, right? Van Nick always posts up a Pudgy Penguin, right? If you're not doing these kind of things to get into the centralized world, then what good is the IP for? Because like, is it bringing in? Are you having your IP bringing in revenue for you?
No, currently no, but there's no net inflow from the IP currently, and that I know that, like with Luca, they had massive success with their NFT, right? And so that's why they were able to immediately go into Walmart. And keep in mind though, like you just said on your show, a few weeks ago, he went to Walmart even having a ton of success at Gel Blaster and still wasn't even able to get into there again. They were like, they didn't see the vision. And so he had to go to EV Games and, go to Australia and do that. And so the thing is right now, no, there is none. And so what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to find a way to do that. And it's not the same way that Luca did it because we don't have an NFT, and the same amount of way. I mean, I feel like everyone that you had to be a whale really to get at a certain point. You had to be a whale in order to get a pudgy. So they had a lot of whales. They had a lot of support, and but no, we don't have net inflow yet. What we do have is we have a vision to create. Right now, we're actually focusing on a cartoon series that we're actually going to be dropping our next one here this week. And what it is it's all the cartoons are going to be connected. They're right around a minute or two. And what I'm doing is I'm putting a pilot together with that short term. Once we have 15 more episodes and we have a little pilot, 25 minutes, we'll go in and we'll ship that into Netflix. And so we'll ship that in, and I'll try to go and and it won't be just Netflix. There'll be other ways, but I'm going to go and I'm going to try to use that pilot to create net inflow and create a show and put it out there. Unfortunately, in order to create animations, it's especially the way we're doing it, it's very, very expensive. If we were hiring somebody, we're doing everything in house. So we're building everything in house. We're doing all the hard work. And over the next, I would say the next, 8 to 12 weeks, we're going to build out a pilot within that trailer. And our goal is really to be different. We know that crypto is coming. Like everyone's talking about crypto. Netflix really isn't talking about crypto though. You know what I mean? And they're not integrated with crypto. And I don't expect them to be, because how are they supposed to know about crypto? They're in a completely different industry. So what we're doing is we're trying to create with Mooncat almost like, I would say, I don't want to say like South Park, but similarities to South Park, and bringing CT personalities that look like CT personalities. Have to be careful about that because we don't want to, there is going to be a disclaimer. If it looks like you, it's not you, it's not you. But that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to create something different. We're trying to create, like, if something happens in the South Park drops a meme coin and it's going crazy and everyone's talking about it, we want to be able to talk about that in our show in 2 days. And we want to then be able to bring CT to Netflix. We want to bring CT to the masses. And so in order to do that, it's hard. I mean, this isn't a project that's going to be done in 6 months, 12. Like my time horizon really is 3 or 4 years with this thing. And so that's what I'm trying to do right now. And to be honest, I'm just trying a bunch of shit. I don't even know if it's going to work, David. I just know that, like Frank D. God said it, just keep trying shit. And that's what I have to do. I've got it. We're in a space right now where it's so niche and we're so early that it just makes sense to try a lot of shit. And it makes sense to find a way. It might not work day one, but it makes sense to find a way to create net inflow. Because if acquisition comes to this space, I mean, they're gonna look for brands that are profitable, not just have a big community behind them that could, they can lose overnight, which we've seen that right here. Like you were just asking about Mooncat, like people can capitulate quick. So, but net inflow is important. And that's all we're trying to do right now is we're trying to, like, long term, yeah, we're going to be doing the plushies. We're going to be doing all that stuff. But I really want people to fall in love with Mooncat, the character. And so that's why I'm focused on the pilot before doing anything as far as plushies, neck pillows, Pokeballs like we have planned. That, like, just because I want to make sure people really fall in love with this character and understand who Mooncat really is.
Welcome to the Breakdown, episode 617. Sponsored by Gemini. I'm joined by Katoshi. Okay. He is the leader of Mooncat. Mooncat has been harassing me for about 4 to 5 months now, I think. All in my DMs, choking me out, not letting me breathe. Okay. Always consistently in my timeline when I go ahead and post something up, putting like the cat's image in my eyebrows or something. I don't know, giving me facial, digital facial makeovers and shit. Yeah, that shit makes me laugh at times.
Some of the memes, I saw a water skiing meme the other day with you on it, and I've seen the parachute. They can make you do anything. This cat, people say it's not a meme, you know,
Is it a
because
real cat? By the way,
it,
I know that might sound stupid, but yeah, is it a real cat?
it's a real cat, but it's not. The cat
Okay.
really wasn't. It was modified a little bit, and
Okay, got it.
we backtraced the image. I think it's like from 2014. It's just some
Okay.
Google image, and but like I said, I didn't really. It wasn't me that found the picture. It was the original dev, and it was just the perfect. It was fate, right? It was Moonshot Create was coming out. It was a cat that was shaped like a moon, and it was just fate, man. I really felt like it was
Got it.
what it was. So
Do you feel like as a developer, do you feel like it's a bit hard? And when I say developer, meaning building out, developer can mean a lot of things here.
yeah,
But building this, building this, do you feel like I can say it? I mean, this space is absolutely saturated. We have 25 million cryptocurrencies. Why the fuck we need 25 million cryptocurrencies? I don't fucking know. I literally sat back yesterday thinking to myself when I seen the number, like the updated number, I'm like, I talked to I actually obviously I'm in my own studio. I looked at my screen and I said, why the fuck do we have, and I said this out loud, talking to myself, why the fuck do we have 25 million cryptocurrencies? I can understand 17 million. No, excuse me, 17,000.
okay,
But 25 million?
yeah.
It is beyond. There is not enough liquidity. This so I want to let me just lay it out for you guys. 25 million cryptocurrencies officially listed on CoinMarketCap, who happens to be a partner of mine. Okay. 25 million that are listed. That's not the official number, though. There might be more than that. We're talking about 50 to 75 million. Now, I want you to do this because not a lot of people will go ahead and list or make the list on CoinMarketCap. So let's use the 25. 25 million fucking cryptocurrencies. 25. Current market cap in crypto is something like 45 to 50 million dollars. Do you understand that is not a lot of liquidity here? So all you're doing, I keep on saying this, all you are doing currently in this cycle is playing at the same gambling table with the same people, with the same money, and rotating it to different hands.
Yeah.
That's it.
That
It is time to really believe in something. Like, believe in something already. Like, believe in the memes. Like, I believe the meme economy is great. I was the first delusional media personality to go on network television to tell people that memes are real and have people look at me like, is this guy for real? Because we brought him on for Bitcoin, not for meme talk. I believe in this space. And I want to see us go back to the real memes and support real developers and real leaders. When are we going to do this? Do you get frustrated as somebody who is building, who obviously I'm sure you believe in Mooncat very much? Do you get frustrated with like, what the fuck? We're out here building and you're going in and chasing this new crock of shit. Like, why not stay here? Do you ever have that feeling to just jump on to a live stream now that you're doing congratulations or a space and say, what the fuck is wrong with you guys?
I do. And I feel like I might have, once or twice, without a doubt. Like I've definitely probably been like lost it. My cool, like, man, what is going on? And this is the thing, though. It's that there will be an S&P 500 of memes, right? I mean, like I think you said it. Like, Geico's a meme, right? Like,
well, there's already a meme index from VanEck. So
well,
you already have. I like what you're talking about. It's already coming.
It's already, and that's what it is. It's going to come down to, like I said before, I really think it comes down to net inflow. People that aren't focused on building a business, these aren't I get it. They're memes. Like, that's how it started. But it gets to a point where these things are legitimate crypto brands. I mean, you look at what Giga's building with their fitness over there. You see Apu's, focusing, or Apu is focusing on a movie right now. You see, obviously, I was saying it for a long time. I was like, man, I really think that something's going on with DreamWorks or Illumination or something with Pudgy, because these like penguins are starting to sound like minions. I was like, I noticed whenever I'm hearing them, they sound like minions. I think something's going on. Sure enough, DreamWorks comes out and says, hey, so I just believe that, yeah, the best are going to survive. And people need to understand IP doesn't die. It just doesn't die. Lucas said it. It really doesn't. I mean, people probably bought a Buzz Lightyear toy today, a Toy Story toy today, a Woody. They bought, like, these things don't die, and they're like, it's far past their prime, but they just don't die. And so that's the thing, is people like Geico obviously doesn't die because they're it's not just because they're a community. It's because, no, they're an insurance company, and they're positive. Times change, they change with the times. Inflation changed, they change with they understand that it's important to be innovative. And like I said, it's a new space. People have to understand money in general, like even traditional finance, we're still early. Roth IRAs, they haven't been around forever. 401ks haven't been around for, I think people get born and then they just believe that this stuff has been around since, BC. And that's just not the case. And so I believe right now, yeah, it does bug me. And it makes me sometimes want to jump off a cliff, because I'm just like, man, what are people doing? Just shitposting memes. But I have to remember, they're just hyper gambling. And I know that hyper gamblers eventually lose. They lose
but that, if they lose, they leave.
If they lose, they leave. But the problem is that these people are sucking up all the liquidity. But the hyper gamblers aren't the ones that are pushing. The hyper gamblers aren't the reason why we're here today. The reason why we're here today is because of the Bitcoin OG believers, and because one person didn't have a big enough ego to full stack the clip and to ruin, the money system for humanity. And that's what people need to get behind, is these memes are going to become crypto brands, and they're going to be important for integrating people from web 2 onto web 3. And we need to make sure that they don't keep burning their hand on the stove. Because every single time that people come in and hyper gamble, if they're coming in with that mentality, like I said, I know that they're eventually going to lose. Nobody, it's very hard to be a professional gambler. It's very, very hard. Very little people do it. And so right now, the only people I feel like are succeeding right now a lot are these Coles that are literally just playing an unfair game against the rest of, it's insiders and Coles and people, they're just not playing the same game. They want to play a game that they know that they can win. They don't want to play a game. They don't want to play Magnus Carlsen in chess. They want to play their 5-year-old brother in chess. And so that's what they want. They want as many 5-year-olds to come into the space, so that way they can take their money and get them to leave. I just refuse to play that game. I want to play it. I want to challenge. I want to grow. And I know if I'm not growing, I'm dying. And I can tell you right now, people that are continuing to do that, they're dying. Whether their bank account's going up, they're dying. And on top of that, you can only cry wolf so many times before someone doesn't show up. Eventually, people are going to cry wolf. Hey, no, it's this. No, this is the next peanut. No, this is the next. Well, then, how? Because if the time frame isn't clear on how long they're going to be here, if they don't have a time horizon of 4 or 5 years, how can I believe that? And I think that's where these crypto brands need to shift towards, is, becoming a brand and actually believing that they can become a brand. And the thing is most of these people, they don't believe that because they've never won that way, David. They didn't win like you did with Doge. They didn't win like you did with, they won by playing an unfair game. And so I don't believe crypto should be an unfair game. I think it should be fair. And I think that everybody should.
I'm going to say this. I won with Doge. I won with Shiba, Pepe, because if we're talking about just memes, I'm not going to talk about the utilities and obviously Bitcoin and Ethereum and stuff like that. I'll stick to memes. The reason I won is because I spot and DCA'd. And that's what my message is to everybody. Spot, DCA, because I don't need to play with leverage. I don't need to play games. I go in spot, I DCA, I sit back and I relax. Mm-hmm. Could I make more money? Absolutely. I could make more money. Is it guaranteed? No, it's not guaranteed. I can get liquidated also, and I can be James Wynn. Yeah. And I don't want to be that bitch. So I choose to go ahead and sit back. Look, Katoshi doesn't know what to do right now after me saying that line about winning. No, but he came at me.
No,
All blood.
I'm not a James. I'm not, man. Anybody that's bearish like that on crypto's not going anywhere. Crypto's going to
Nah,
change.
it's not even that. He came at me, bro. Like, yeah, I roll in my own lane. I don't say nothing bad about anybody. I keep it moving, bro. That's it. Like, trust me, I'll show up when I need to show up if I feel like I need to show up. But like when you just like start calling out and he's calling out everybody that's actually doing things, not getting liquidated. Okay, well, actually, out there's nothing you cannot be proud of yourself when you get liquidated for $100 million. Like there's nothing to be proud of. Okay, nothing. You've just had generational wealth in your hands, and you went ahead and got rid of it. Okay, okay. I would disown you if we were family members. You'd be disowned. Okay, disowned. But the reason why I stay winning. Am I winning? Is my hit rate 100%? No. Like nobody's is. Nobody wants to admit that, but nobody's hit rate is 100%. But you know what? I'm up there. I think I'm up there in the 80s. Okay. But the reason why is because like I'm okay with getting into something, holding and waiting. If it doesn't work out, well, then it wasn't meant to be. But you know what? I do my research as much as you can on a meme because there's not really a lot that you can really go on when it comes to memes. It's like, is the meme dope? Is the content good? How's the community? Are they cultish? Okay, let's see if this can last for more than 4 weeks, right? And you're sitting back there, okay, with it, okay, 4 weeks, the energy, more people are coming in, they're loving this. Let me DCA some more. That's the way I focus on the meme that I'm in, right? Or a specific meme. Let me watch it and observe. If I don't see those characteristics happen in the next 4 weeks, maybe I'm slowly getting out. And I'm not one to sell, but maybe I'm just slowly saying, hey, this is not it, you know? Unless the team comes out with a plan and says, listen, guys, we're not doing nothing yet. Okay? We're building behind the scenes. We're not going to come here every single day to hold your hand. I respect that. I'll hold. I respect people that will come out, or developers or leaders that say, listen, I'm not doing coming out here every 5 minutes to tell you or hold your hand while we build here. I'm not listening to you. Well, you know what? Biggest failure that you can ever have is listening to the community. I'm going to explain why. The community is going to be like, what the fuck? Listen, community. Everybody has an opinion. 90% have never built a business. So they think they know what they're talking about respectfully, but they don't. They're not in your position.
Yeah, sometimes
they're just not. Really good. it sounds good. Put it together. Okay? Try putting this shit together and you'll see, okay, that some of these things that you're talking about won't work. Behind the scenes, like you're talking to people, you're trying to get things together. It's hard. You're getting a lot of no's. People aren't DMing you back. No replies. You're working your ass off. To come out every day and to say, here's what we're doing, it stops you from building. The community needs to either you believe the person leading the goddamn project or you don't. That's it.
It's
so
like
make up your choice.
It's like a relationship. Like imagine if I was sitting there and I'm like, hey, are you sure you're not cheating on me, right? You're not talking. You're not.
Yeah, that's wild. You're
not going to be. You know what I mean? And like that's what people do. It's like it's like you can't give somebody reassurance constantly and be happy. Like I'm not going to make, if you're constantly looking for reassurance, man, you're clearly not happy. And there's nothing that's going to make, and even if I make you happy with a conversation and tell you what you want to hear, the next day you're going to probably, that will go out the door, and you're going to need it again. And so those relationships tend to fail. Right. So yeah, I know, or at least there's someone that's really unhappy in one of it. And it's mostly the person that's having to do the reassuring. So yeah, like I do respect builders, and I try not to be that person that has to constantly reassure. And because if people can't tell, like I'm showing up, I'm here, I'm going to be here. Like most people, like even somebody else that was in the project capitulated and couldn't see, I'm sorry, but like I'm going to show up every single day, and that's all I can do. But yeah, I'm not going to continue. Like if I can't build behind the scenes and I have to tell you what I'm building, then there's not going to be anything to be hype about. I mean, and sometimes there might be delays. I mean, Grand Theft Auto just did, their 100th delay, Kanye West did a ton of delays and still built great albums. It takes time. And so anything worth building takes time. And that's I always go back to Disney. Like it took Walt Disney and Iwerks almost 4 years to build Snow White. And if they would have had everybody the whole time while they're building behind the scene, oh, can I see it? Can I see it? Can we change this? No. I think that the gnomes shouldn't look like that. I think it should, dude, Snow White would have been a completely different animation, and it wouldn't be what it is today. So people, yeah, they've got to be patient, but we're in a hyper gambling market. I get that it's hard to build it, but people have to they need to believe in something and have patience. And if they don't, yeah, go hyper gamble, see how far it gets you. But like you said, they're probably like, I know that the average person isn't at 80%. I know the average person is probably, getting rugged on, 6 out of, they're probably getting rugged 80%, so they're probably losing 80%. So they're not going to win like that long term. And they need to understand that, like, there's different investment strategies. And the ones that you just mentioned to DCA, dollar cat average, those are the ones that tend to pay off. If you read the
dollar cat average,
if you look at like the psychology of money, or you read the psychology of money, they talk about that, and it's not, you can't just sit there and play the game that everyone else is playing. Everyone needs to start realizing, just because you're in crypto doesn't mean you're a trader. It doesn't mean that you can be, there's some great investors that believed in Disney and just like, imagine if you just kept DCing into, Microsoft, and I heard my dad or Tesla. Exactly. Like my dad missed that one, but I heard him talk about like Microsoft. That's all he was obsessed with growing up. We'd go into his little computer and dial up the internet on AOL, and he'd buy us stocks. And I was just, and we never, it was just decent. You find something you believe in. We believed in Rite Aid, so we used to invest into Rite Aid. We invested, in Rite Aid still, around. It's like, that's what it's about. It's about if you really want to support the ecosystem, you support people that are building. You don't support people that are, hyper gambling. And that's not how you win. I just don't think so.
I want to say that maybe I'll bring you on in the next few weeks, a month or two from now, probably, to go ahead and talk about where you guys are at. What have you built? I'm interested to see what you do from here. This is a telltale sign for me if a project is real or not. After what you guys went through, where like the whole chart collapsed because people just didn't believe anymore, this is where devs show me and the team shows me who the fuck they are. That's really it. And you know how I feel about IP. I already said it. I think having the IP rights is great. 100% great. It protects you in this space from vamps and all that good stuff. Okay, so you're protected there. What do you do with IP? Me, I'm a businessman. I'd like to see, revenue come in here and somehow benefit the project, obviously in its best interest, and the community in general around it. And I want the community to be a cult. I want the community to know more than the dev in terms of and when explaining the project, they know how to explain it in layman's terms for the average normie who comes in here to get in and say, okay, I fuck with this. So I appreciate definitely you coming on today on short notice. Ladies and gentlemen, Kat Toshi came on to fill in here for Charlie Shrem. Yeah. He showed up. I appreciate you guys. Give him a follow. Give Mooncat a follow. It's not investment advice. I'm not a financial advisor to begin with, but check them out. If you like them, cool. If you don't, you know what to do. Keep it moving, man. Katoshi, I appreciate you, and I wish you the best of luck, man.
I appreciate you having me on, David, and thank you, man. Appreciate Charlie Shrem for the opportunity.
Yeah, shout out to Charlie Shrem. Hey, you know what? That's what happens, man. Ask Tom Brady. Thank you so much, Katoshi. Appreciate you, bro.
Thank you. Appreciate it, man.
That's Katoshi, man. All right, give him another round of applause. Short notice. One thing that like I write a lot. I write down in my notebook a lot about things I do every single day. I encourage people to do that as well. It's not because my memory's bad. No, 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 no. It's because I can look back at the day and I can put it into my systems, make sure that everything's noted for that particular day. I can always go back to it. So like I think I have a phenomenal memory, but I can say, okay, hold on, let me double check also. And I always note this: the people that show up, the people who show up for me every single day and who are there behind the scenes for me. And this is not about Kaltoshi, but in general, generalizing. I will always, I will always show up for them. It's funny because I was like, you know what, interesting. I was thinking about while and I contacted a few people that wanted to come on, and they wanted to go talk about politics and stuff. And I was like, you know what, maybe I'll leave that for tomorrow and Friday because I was thinking about Katoshi and Mooncat, and I was like, man, they got hit hard. Like here they are, and I was going to ask them a question about Moonshot. Nobody from Moonshot actually wants to come onto the show, and I understand why they don't want to come onto the show because I'm going to press them on questions, and particularly one. I'm going to press them on a question about why isn't Rage listed on Moonshot? And besides Rage, there are other pretty good Solana tickers out there that aren't listed. I sat back, and I've seen things get listed within 3 to 4 hours with no community. Yet there are real communities out there that show up every single day. And I'm going to use Rage as an example. I don't care how anybody feels about Rage. Rage guy, ticker Rage. Let me say Rage guy, ticker Rage. That community shows up every single day. They're trending on stock twits every day. They're making a post towards Moonshot every day. They average over $1 million market cap every day. They had volume every single day, and obviously the volume has gone away because look at what's happening right now. Like volume hasn't been big with everybody in this current situation, and I'm thinking to myself like, why not acknowledge if you're built for the people? Why not acknowledge the people that are showing up every single day, especially ones that are like waving at you guys, going out to the streets. They're actually, the craziest part is that they're buying through Moonshot unverified to show love to the platform. If I am a builder, and here this is where it's the big boys, the adults and the kids separate, right? If I'm a builder and people are coming onto my platform, I'm not saying bring on everybody. That's not the message. What I'm saying is, if I see a group that continues to show up 2 months and the noise is still there, I'm going to bring them up. I'm going to bring them on because they're going to make my platform bigger. They're going to get my platform out there. From a marketing branding standpoint, I want to bring them on regardless if I make money. If I don't make money on people buying Rage, that's fine. I'll make money. I'll make money based on them going out there every single day talking about Moonshot. That's free promotion for me. So it's really weird. Like I would love to get somebody on and them to tell me, look, this is our listing policies. This is how we go about putting people on or projects on. Because for me, I can't wrap my head around the meme economy, which I was born in. I was one of the original OGs in the memes who was talking about memes and mainstream media. I want to understand how the process works where there are things that aren't really memes but become memes for 15 minutes, I guess. They're listed and they go to zero, yet you have a community that shows up every day. They're buying through your platform which they're buying obviously the asset which isn't verified by you guys. They're buying through your platform and they're promoting you. So I'm lost as to why Fade diehard fans versus bringing on fickled Briar. Like, do you get that from a business? You're bringing on people that ain't staying long. So it is what it is, man. I just used rage as an example. I'm sure there are plenty of other memes that, at the end of the day deserve to be on the platform that aren't. So it is what it is. Apparently I was told that Troll wasn't listed onto Moonshot until it hit 12 million. So I don't know. I'm just I don't know what it is, but I would love anybody from Moonshot to come on and just explain it. Like explain it to me 2 months or 3 months in, whatever, however long it's been. They've been out there and it's only been growing and it's still not on there. So is it because of the people? You don't like the people? At least, you know what? The biggest thing that you can do, the biggest thing is say like, "Hey, I don't like the people associated with that project." And then the people of that community and that project will understand and they will they will move accordingly, I guess. Like if I was a leader of a project and I was told that, I would move accordingly. Like I would say, okay, fine, no problem. Can't prove you wrong. There's something there. You don't like me, no problem. Let me keep it moving. Let me find somebody that will appreciate what I bring to the table. Let me find somebody that'll appreciate the community. Let me find somebody that'll appreciate the meme. That's really it. That's really it. It's very plain. It doesn't, honestly, I wouldn't even have bad feelings if I had a project and somebody told me about, like, hey, listen, man, we just don't like you, or we don't like the meme. We don't feel like the meme actually fits with us. So, like, this is how we're feeling. I'd be like, okay, no problem. Shit, it sucks that you feel that way. It really fucking sucks because this community loves your platform. But hey, like, you guys had a business to run, no problem. That's real talk. I'll be back right after this commercial break. Welcome back to. By the way, I hope you enjoy the silent video from Gemini. That's right. I don't know if I have. Yeah, I gotta send an email to Gemini to send me a video with actual voiceover there because I don't want to be the voiceover. Okay? I don't want to do the voiceovers on the commercial. But shout out to Gemini. Shout out to them. They're out. They're out at the Bitcoin conference. They're doing big things. They are really Gemini this year has been marketing their asses off. Okay, marketing their asses off. They are trying to have you come and sign up. Okay, sign up to their exchange, and it's a dope exchange. Like you're secure. Knock on wood with Gemini. Check out the credit card lineup, gemini.com/David G. I repeat, I'm telling you, man, I feel like I wake up, I go to the bathroom and I'm like taking a piss and it's just like, hey, this piss is sponsored by Gemini. Check out the lineup of credit cards from Gemini. I swear to God, man. Taking a shower, like I said, running, exercise. Hey, this exercise is sponsored by Gemini. But shout out to everybody who's tuning in. Shout out to the TikTokers, especially. Shout out to TikTok. Thank you very much. Unfortunately, we don't see your comments. Well, a lot of you guys don't see the comments. You guys, this platform is very weird because like it doesn't allow you to engage with other. There's LinkedIn people talking in YouTube, and then you have people from TikTok, so you guys can't engage with each other. It would be cool if you could, but shout out to TikTok. TikTok is finally on board, and I am here live streaming straight to you guys. Thank you so much for making me. I have over what is it? I have about 500,000 followers on TikTok. I've almost have 30 million likes, total likes on TikTok. That is dope. That's some dope shit. That's dope. That's dope. Another good week. Another good week. Next week we'll talk about how many people have tuned into the show, the DG brand, of course. It's really cool, man. It's really cool to finally be able to focus on my brand. Speaking of me and my brand, let me speak about me real quick. So thank God. I want to thank social media. I want to thank a lot of people out here in social media, especially the ones that do fuck with me. Um, Somebody sent me clips of, I will not say the person's name, but send me clips of a person stating that they will do certain things to my mother, certain things to my sister, and also threatening my life. I also been alerted. Besides all the other slander, which is fine. You listen. You show up here, just be prepared to be slandered. That's just people will make shit up. It's just wild. You're not gonna win no matter how many facts you bring to the table. You just won't win against social media. So if you are going to come out here and get on a camera, just know what's going to happen. So basically, a guy who sounds like he has problems breathing, and like he literally sounds like he needs to have his inhaler next to him at all times. He stated that he's done nasty things with my mother and my sister, and then he will continue to do nasty things with my mother and sister. And this, by the way, I just wanted to let you guys know this is all over a meme. This is all over memes, right? This has and something that I have nothing to do with because I'm a market participant just like everybody else. It's just I'm doxxed and been doxxed forever, unlike others who hide behind cartoon characters. So and made up names. Here I am, right? And this is why I've discontinued my relationships with a lot of people because they are platforming these people now. They are literally platforming people who have slandered me, defamed me. Like so many things have gone on, and now I've been sent material showing that, oh wow, like I was right at the end of the day. It's one of those things that I was kind of right at the end of the day. Second, I get alerted today. I get a message where somebody states the following. Here's the message, which is sick. This is actually sick. Um, I actually thought this was very sick, and I almost feel like it was alluding to me, but I don't know if it was or what was not. This person stated, and I won't say names. The reason why I won't say names is because I don't want to give anybody any sort of clout or attention. I'll give the story. The reason why I'll give the story attention is because I just want to say that some people don't realize the shit that they do. So this person stated at 10 p.m. yesterday, 11/11/2025. It was a story about the New York Post. New York Post came out with a story about a high flyer crypto scammer and a wife who were this completely murdered and dismembered. This person stated, in general, as a rule of thumb, it's best not to scam or steal from people. So these kind of conversations, that to me sounded like you were encouraging, or it's encouraging this type of behavior. Number one, I don't even know who that guy is, but I don't believe anybody should have been killed. Um, you should never take things, in my personal opinion, into your own hands. Leave that for the authorities. Leave that for law enforcement. Leave that for every agency. Okay? They'll figure it out. If a person really is a scammer or a con artist, they'll figure it out. Okay? They will. So let's leave that in the hands of law enforcement. I don't you guys don't understand how much weight your words carry. And thankfully, my team has been taping a lot of people and making sure we send them to the proper channels to make sure that nobody gets hurt. That's right, nobody gets hurt. It's something that people should talk about this a lot more often. We know where we come into every single day in terms of crypto. Social media is already toxic. Add in crypto and it's beyond insanity, right? People are chasing dollars, okay? Not me, but a lot of people are chasing dollars. It's an opportunity for them not to work at IHOP, okay? A lot of people don't want to, be a 30-year vet at IHOP. I understand that, okay? Nobody wants to come into IHOP. Nobody dreamed of working at IHOP and talking about, hey, do you want decaf or regular today? Like, no, nobody dreams of that lifestyle. So they see crypto as an opportunity. And then when money's involved and people are losing money and then not winning, then they start pointing fingers, right? But when you start getting into conversations, and this is not the first time, I've been here for 13, 14 years, so this is not a first for me. When you get into conversations of threatening somebody's life, putting threats on somebody's life, to encouraging violence on somebody, it is no longer a game. Okay, it's no longer a game. It's just not. It's not. So you see that and you're sitting there and you have a soul, you should, and I encourage you, put a stop to it right there. Also, it's funny. It comes from the same people that when I went into a certain particular token, when I decided to go into another token and I said the reasons why I'm doing this is because of this type of behavior, people said, no, it's not real. It's not real. You're lying. And yet, everything that I've stated, because I have a lot of people that do fuck with me, that send me screenshots because there are rats in your back channels. When I get the screenshots, why would I want to go into something? Why would I invest money into something where people are literally saying that they're going to F my mother, F my sister, or I've done that already, apparently, that they are going to go ahead and do something bad, reading articles and wishing me harm. Why would I want to participate in a project like that? Number three, you don't scare me. The only person who scares me is God. That's it. There's not a single person walking this earth, respectfully. Okay. I know a lot of you guys will get butthurt by this, but respectfully, okay, no matter how gangster you are, The only person I fear is God. That's it. Whatever you wish me, and there's a lot of people that love to wish me a lot of things on social media. At the end of the day, my belief in God is strong, and I will let God handle that. Okay. At the end of the day, I let God go ahead and handle everything. God and karma have been really good to me. Okay. Bottom line, I sit back and I just allow things to go ahead and play out the way they should play out. That's it. I'm in no control of it. And I let the proper people go ahead and control things. If you understand what I'm saying, it's not up to me anymore. I don't, I'm older now. I'm not 20 years old. This ain't the schoolyard. This ain't after school. You talked about my mother, let's swing. No, no, no. I have more to lose than you do. At the end of the day, I have to lose than you do. Like it's not vice versa. So all I'm saying is if you're coming into this industry, stay away from the fuckery. If you really want to change your life, find value. Find value, valuable people that are producing valuable content to level yourself up. That's it. I'm particularly focused on me. That's right, me. People will be like, well, that's a selfish take. No, it's not. I've been unselfish for a very long time. I've been very giving with my time. And time is something you'll never get back. And I have done a lot of things for a lot of people to only get spit on, okay? And I don't want to be spit on. And I also want to go ahead and achieve and succeed in this space and beyond this space. And a lot of people who know me know that. And I'm different than these media personalities that you tune into. I'm not just crypto. Like like a lot of these people have never been on mainstream media because like it is what it is. Like there's only a few that have actually gone on. Like most haven't. And most just cater to crypto. And I love talking about crypto, but I also want to talk about TriFi. I want to talk about politics. I want to talk about sports. That's what we're doing here with the DG brand. We're going outside, we're sitting down, doing podcast interviews with real people that can bring you real value, that can better your lives, man. Like that's what I'm out there to do. Have these conversations, meaningful conversations that can help somebody or help me understand things that I personally probably don't understand well. I don't claim to be the smartest person in the room, never will. Never will claim to be the smartest in the room. And I enjoy these conversations. Okay? I enjoy these conversations. Um, wish Charlie Shrem could have made it here today. Shout out to Katoshi for coming here today. Shout out to the Mooncat community for showing up also. For the if you're a first time listener, hopefully a long time. Okay, hopefully a long time listener. Um, guys, crypto. We came to, or at least I came to crypto, and the vibe in crypto, which I could have confirmed with Charlie Shrem if he would have showed up, was it was one where we were, whether we liked each other or not, we worked together. It was about getting away from the centralized bodies that did not allow for us to have any sort of opportunity. Your parents, your grandparents, this this place was beautiful. And then I look at it now and I'm just like, what happened? Like where even like I think back 7 years ago, even if you weren't like really, you didn't really like a person, you still sat at the same table and you built together, or you talked, or you worked on projects together, and it was a cool thing to just like again just sit at the same table and just learn new things, even from people that you again like you particularly maybe did not like. But there are plenty of people that I dislike that bring a lot of knowledge to the table. So I guess that's my rant for today. Guys, tune in tomorrow. We'll have Charlie Lee on. Charlie Lee will be on at 1:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll talk about Litecoin. That's right. Litecoin is one of my favorites out there. We'll also, on Friday, we'll be talking to Murad. Murad is into memes. Murad loves SPX. And we'll talk about SPX being, Murad believes it will be the first $1 trillion token that we will have in the meme sector. So I am fascinated to have Murad on, to have that conversation, especially that He comes from the TradFi world, and he has a different take on things than the takes I have on the current meme economy. But I would say that we might agree on a lot of stuff more than we disagree. So I'll be right back after this commercial break with the quote of the day. Thank you very much for tuning in. Gemini credit card. And by the way, the Gemini credit card, the Bitcoin credit card, the XRP credit card, and the Solana credit card can be found by going to Gemini.com/David G. That's right. Gemini.com/David G. Go check out the lineup of credit cards that give you 4% back in either Bitcoin, XRP, or Solana, depending on the card that you hold. Again, Gemini.com/David G. Go ahead and click on the link to find out more. Earn Bitcoin and not points. Honestly, this is becoming fun not having any music or voiceover. Anyway, welcome to episode 617, the breakdown, Gemini the sponsor, the quote of the day. The quote of the day. By the way, I just wanted to say thank you everybody for tuning in from all channels. TikTok, unexpected, but holy shit, the ratings. Thank you. Holy fuck. And thank you for the likes and the gifts. I appreciate it. Hopefully you guys aren't putting like sombreros on me or some shit. Okay. Like I know you guys do that goofy shit on people. Hopefully that's not happening. I don't see it on here. So the only way for me to actually see that is if I go ahead and have another TV here set up to show me what's happening on TikTok live. Anyway, quote of the day. I'll also be on. I think I have a podcast to do today, or is it today or Thursday? I don't even know. I think I'm supposed to do a podcast with somebody. I'll figure that one out. But here we go. Quote of the day. The prize isn't the trophy. The prize is who you become in the process of earning it. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Thank you for tuning in to your boy every single day. Guys, like you can really be great. Like I hope that you guys really achieve what you want to achieve here, man. and I hope it's retiring your bloodline, man. Like there is no other place right now in the world where you can come and have the opportunity to retire your entire family and to live a really good life. Now, I don't know what generational wealth looks like to you. I don't know what life-changing money looks to you, but I just know that this is a place, this is an ecosystem that will allow you to live comfortably, to allow you to build. You even had the SEC chair come out today giving you the breakdown of what is what, clarity is here. Guys, you are first to market. If you want to build something, you can really build something fucking amazing. Just surround yourself with builders and amazing people and positive energy. You don't need that negative shit. Trust me, it gives you absolutely nothing. How many people have entertained fuckery and have just left from that circle having nothing to their names? Surround yourself with millionaires, you become a millionaire. Surround yourself with a billionaire, you become a billionaire. Okay? You need to surround yourself with people that have winning mentalities to win. That's it. Bottom line. Surround yourself with people with winning mentalities, you win. Shout out to everybody who tunes in. We are working on the night show. Okay. We'll have more on that. But you have the DG show, obviously the breakdown. You have the podcast coming. Okay. And you have Hotep. Okay. Hotep, 2:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. He's talking about Candace. We talked about her yesterday. Well, I particularly talked about her. And I might go ahead and touch on that topic tomorrow. But on that note, guys, be well, be good to each other. I'll see you on the flip side.